Hello, it is June 23rd, 2020. It's time for another check-in and another message. How's everybody doing? Okay? I hope you're doing okay. Good spirits, good health. I really hope that that you're doing well, right? And if you're not, remember, please reach out to someone. Reach out to someone. Share those feelings that you're experiencing. Share those uneasy feelings that you might be experiencing. Share whatever the problem that it is that you're dealing with. Make sure you share that with somebody. Reach out to someone, let them help you, or give them a chance to help you work through that problem that you're experiencing. Okay. All right. And if anything, maybe you're not looking for solutions. See if you can find somebody who's willing to listen. All right. And for those of you who aren't experiencing issues, try to be that person who is willing to listen. Okay. All right. So let's remember, we got to keep those connections strong. We got to keep those connections strong. Got to keep building that community. Got to keep building that community. If we can, we got to grow that community. All right. So if you're someone who is doing, relatively well, right? Maybe you could reach out to a couple of different folks, or you can inspire someone, share this message with someone else, and see if you can't get them to do the same. Right? Find those people who might be having challenges and encourage them to reach out for help. And for those that do relatively well, maybe they're good problem solvers. Let's get our problem solvers out there and try to solve some problems. If anything, listen to problems. Right? If anything, listen to problems. We got to do that first. Listen first, and then solve. If a solution is required or desired, it can be a little difficult to understand at first if you're not used to this thing. But sometimes people, they're not necessarily looking for solutions. They just want somebody to listen to what they have to say. All right, so I'm just putting it all out there. Big check-in section here, but I just want to make sure that we're keeping those connections, we're keeping them strong, and then we're growing those connections. All right, if we're growing, if we're reaching out beyond our reach, if we're touching people, if we're making connections with people out, just at the tip of our reach, and those people reach out, now we're expanding our reach and we're helping a lot more people. Does that make sense? Okay, so what's today's message? Today's message it was inspired by a few conversations that I've had in the last few days, just like many of these messages are. But what it is it can be tough to become comfortable in your own skin. It can be tough. It's a journey to figure out who you are exactly. What's your makeup? What's your, what are your values? What do you find important? What do you enjoy? What makes you comfortable? What makes you uncomfortable? All of that is a journey. It's part of a journey. And some of that, sometimes we can give too much priority, give too much power to the groups that we're trying to fit in. Right? Sometimes we try to fit ourselves in these boxes, right? We try to put ourselves in these boxes because that looks somewhere where I'm supposed to be there. It looks like I'm supposed to be there, but I don't quite fit in there. So I'm gonna change who I am to fit in that space. And if you're doing that, I would take a minute to reflect on just the kind of changes that you are making about yourself to fit in a group. Okay, that's one. Because if you're compromising who you are as an individual, who you are as a person, Maybe you're not supposed to be in that group. There's a group out there that you fit in. If fitting into a group is something that you want, right? If you're looking for that group, that space to that group of people that share your same likes and dislikes, they're out there. They're out there. But if you're compromising who you are as an individual in order to fit in with a certain group of people, or in order to make friends or acquaintances with a certain person, and you're compromising who you are, maybe it's time to take a second look at that relationship and maybe ask yourself, is this really good for me? Because if you're compromising yourself, what you value, what you think is important, that sort of stuff, if you're compromising that, if you're changing who you are, if it's going against, if it's not making you feel good, especially if it's not making you feel good about making these changes, then maybe it's time to take a second look at that relationship that you're trying to build. Now, you know, these things are fluid, I guess, as they say, right? Every situation is different. Every situation is different. If you don't mind making certain changes about who you are, your personality, your appearance, that sort of stuff, and you know that's what you want to do, then by all means do what you want to do. That's what that's okay. That's about finding who you are, discovering who you are. Absolutely. What I'm talking about specifically are the changes that you make, and they go against your gut. They go against your instincts. And therein is the message. Trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. Always listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to your mind. Listen to your heart, especially, right? Because sometimes there's a conflict there. Sometimes there's a conflict there. I'm always going to lean to what's in here, right? To the heart. That's what I'm always going to lean into. Say, okay, how do I feel about this thing? What I want, it's what I need. That's how I kind of look at it. Right here, so sometimes this is where what you want, and right here is what you need. That's how I look at it. And sometimes it can be reversed, you know. But in the end, the message is listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. And when you're going about the journey of trying to find out who you are, listen to yourself. It's important to trust your instincts. Trust your instincts. Whatever you are, whoever you are, that is good enough. And if who you are is not good enough for certain people, then, or certain spaces, or certain groups, or certain jobs, or certain this or that, if who you are as a person does not fit into that space, then you shouldn't be in that space. Because who you are is good enough. It should always be good enough. Who you are as a person, inside, right here, and right here. Okay? So, trust your instincts. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Be careful what you compromise about yourself. If you have to make some changes, and they're the kind of changes that you want to make, that you're okay with making, by all means, make adjustments, make improvements, right? If you see them as improvements, absolutely. But if the kind of changes that you're making go against who you are as a person, as an individual, you know, it's time to reflect on that. All right, because you are good enough. All right, and that's it. That's my message. You're good enough. Be careful what you compromise. Trust your instincts. Listen to your head and your heart. Is it what you want, or is it what you need? And sometimes it's reversed. That can be a little tough. If you got any questions, send me an email. Shoot me a message or something like that. Now I can elaborate further. Because every situation is different. But yeah, That's my message for today. I really hope you're doing well. I hope you're in good spirits. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Right? Wash your hands. It's especially important nowadays, right? Wash your hands. Get them hands washed. Right? Practice your good coughing and sneezing etiquette into your elbows and that sort of stuff. Okay? Make sure you're staying safe. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys take care. We'll talk to you guys later. I skipped the Monday podcast because it was Father's Day. I had to celebrate Father's Day, so I didn't get a chance to record the podcast, but we'll be back. I'll have another episode out on Thursday. You guys take care. Make sure you're reaching out for help, okay? Make sure you're reaching out for help. Make sure you're reaching out to somebody who needs help. And then see if we can't pass that word along. See if we can't pass that message along to others. Okay? All right. You guys take care. God bless.